Hello, Methodist Dave here on my continuing tour of Mays Landing, and I am now sitting at the Bulkhead, the Atlantic County Park in downtown Mays Landing. And what you see before me here, this is the Egg Harbor River, and this comes all the way up from the ocean, goes way up, almost halfway, more than halfway across the state. And if you look across the street, that's the rest of the Atlantic County Park there. You can see the gazebo right there. They have concerts and music events, public events, worship services happen there. On the other side of the trees back there is the Atlantic County Library, and on the other side of that is the county courthouse. Now this whole waterfront area here, you see that uses the park and the roadbed here. This used to be a shipyard. Now you can sail, the water's deep enough here that you could sail ships all the way up to Mays Landing here, and they would unload. At the far end, if you can just make out beyond those little tents, is the Sugar Hill Inn. It's a restaurant there. And how did that get? Well, we get an emergency. I assure you, before I started filming, there was no one on the road here. Absolutely nobody. Now the entire world is here. Sugar Hill Inn, well, that got its name from during times past when some of our seamen were privateers. They went out and got themselves a load of British molasses, and they came and they brought their ship all the way up the river here because it was safe. You couldn't get a British frigate up here, and they unloaded the molasses there at the hill, and they called that the Sugar Hill ever since. That's the story I'm told. On the other side of the river here, I'm in Mays Landing, and on the other side of the river was the town of Hamilton. So it was Mays Landing halfway and Hamilton the other half. And at some point in time, they decided that this was going to need to be one town. And Hamilton wanted to keep Hamilton, and Mays Landing wanted to keep Mays Landing. So they came up with a compromise. Hamilton became Mays Landing, but the area that Mays Landing resides in became Hamilton Township. And Hamilton Township is one of the largest municipalities in New Jersey. It's pretty rural, so there's not a lot of people in all of Hamilton Township. But once upon a time, 100 years ago, the ships would bring their wares up here and unload here. And at the end of the road down there, far off in the distance, was the old railroad bridge. And we had a 100-year rainstorm that washed that bridge out, so we got a brand new concrete bridge there. But the train used to come up through town all the way down to Atlantic City, right across the meadows out to Absecon Island, Atlantic City itself. I just sat here and had myself a beautiful lunch. It's Wawa Hoagie Fest, and if you don't know what a Wawa is, you're missing out. I encourage you get a chance, come on out here and enjoy some of the great scenery. There's picnic tables, and you can go fishing here. A lot of people fish from the Bulkhead here throughout the year. Just make sure you have your license. We want to keep it legal. Thank you all for joining me. This is Methodist Dave saying goodbye.